there's a million people out there already with bigger platforms doing this. Who gives a crap what I have to say? I'm a nobody and I have an annoying voice. Hello everybody, this is Over the Line, the football debate show by fans, for fans. My name is Davo and I am the host of the show. Joining me today, nobody. It's just me. It's just me today, guys. You know what? I debated whether I was going to do a video today because normally there's at least one or two other people with me, or at least that's the idea. But my co-hosts, none of them are available today. So I figured, I'll try and get something out there. I have toyed with the idea of if I want to do this or not. I'm sitting there and I'm like, there's a million people out there already with bigger platforms doing this. Who gives a crap what I have to say? I'm a nobody and I have an annoying voice. But I thought, you know what? Nah, F all of that. I'm going to come on here and I'm going to do the show today and I'm going to do my best and hopefully you guys enjoy it. So, what are we going to be talking about today? Well, today's episode, I actually want to come on here and I want to talk about the Club World Cup. I have to say, I've been pleasantly surprised with how good the tournament has been. Not going to lie to you, before it began, I met it with, skepticism. I kind of saw it as a glorified friendly tournament. Didn't really mean much. Back in the first episode that me and the boys recorded on this channel, I kind of, poo-pooed the whole idea of the Club World Cup. Didn't see, I think the question was, is it pointless or relevant? And I kind of went along the pointless side of things. But having sort of watched the group stages are now finished and it's moving on to the knockout stages, I figured, you know what? I'm going to come in here and I'm going to talk about it. I have to hold up my hands. I was wrong. Tournament has surprisingly been good. Yeah, there's been one or two matches that have been a bit, like I think it was Bayern Munich versus, is it Auckland? Like the 10-0 battering. I think it was 10-0. I mean, that sort of result. You don't really want to see that sort of thing in competitive football. Outside of that, I don't think there's been any matches where one team has been completely steamrolled. There's been a number of exciting games. I have to say, I think that the game that stands out for me, or a couple of the games that have stood out for me as being quite exciting, I have to say, is I think it was it Benfica versus Boca Juniors? I think that was the 2-2. Let me just quickly double check that. I think it was Benfica Boca Juniors where it was a 2-2 result and it was like 2 red cards. And I think if I remember correctly, I think Benfica may have been actually 2-0 up before the red card. Yeah, it was Boca Juniors Benfica. I think Benfica were actually 2 up. No, Boca were 2 up, surprisingly 2 up. And then the red cards came into play. And then it was 2-2. That was quite an exciting match. And I think that's where the tournament began to sort of kick off for me in terms of my interest, because that was in the first match day of that particular group. And attendances have actually been quite okay in this tournament. I talked about how the attendance was quite low, and I think the Chelsea versus LA Galaxy match. I spoke about how they were reducing ticket prices and perhaps giving some away for free. But this tournament, I have to say, has been surprisingly decent. As I say, the Benfica Boca Juniors match was a good match for me, and I have to say another good match as well was Porto versus Porto versus Al Ali was a very good match. It was a 4-4 draw where Porto equalised 4 times, I believe. That was a really good match to watch. Another really decent match to watch was the Borussia Dortmund versus, let me get this correctly, Mamelodi Sundowns FC. Hope I said that correctly. That was a good match. The final score there was 4-3 to Borussia Dortmund. And I think at one stage, Dortmund were 4-1 up. And then, Sundowns FC began to mount a bit of a comeback. We've had a game where I believe Flamengo beat Chelsea 3-1, and I have to say the Flamengo Twitter admin absolutely cooked Chelsea that day. Like some of the stuff that they were coming out with, they were saying things like, Chelsea is just a small town in London, refer to them as as West London Blues, I believe, which is a reference to ISS Pro Evo nowadays, a reference to what they used to be called in that game. So yeah, like the Flamengo, admin on Twitter completely cooking Chelsea just added to the whole spectacle of, and enjoyment of this tournament. So as I say, I'm holding my hands up. The tournament has been better than expected. It really has been. And I just want to say that yeah, this has been a surprisingly good tournament. You know, I have to give props where props is due. This tournament has been really good. Um, so the group stages are done. Now, the way the groups have finished is that in Group A, Palmeiras finished top with Inter Miami. Lionel Messi's Inter Miami, they finished in second place. Porto and Al Ali finishing third and fourth, and therefore they're out. In Group B, we had PSG top it, Botafogo coming second. Surprisingly, Atletico Madrid are out because they finished third, and Seattle Sounders fourth, they're out as well. In Group C, we had Benfica in first, surprisingly, and Bayern Munich in second, meaning that with Boca Juniors in third and Auckland City in fourth, they're out. We then have Group D, Flamengo coming top, Chelsea in second, S Tunis, I hope I've said that right, and LA Galaxy finishing third and fourth, they're out. Group E, we have Inter top, Monterrey second, River Plate third are out, and Urawa Reds, that's a mouthful, they finished fourth and they're out as well. Group F, Borussia Dortmund top, Fluminense second, they're through. Mamelodi Sundowns FC, I'm so sorry. They finished third and they're out, and fourth in that group was a team called Ulsan. Not going to lie, never heard of them before. Group G, we have Man City finishing top, Juventus finishing second, with Al Ain and Wayad AC in third and fourth, respectively. We then have Real Madrid in Group H coming top, which means that Al Hilal was second, RB Salzburg third, and Pachuca, they finished fourth, and they're out. So what does this mean for the knockout stages? Well, what that means is this. It means it's Palmeiras versus Botafogo, PSG versus Inter Miami, Benfica versus Chelsea, Flamengo versus Bayern Munich, Inter Milan versus Fluminense, Borussia Dortmund versus Monterrey, Man City versus Al Hilal, and Real Madrid versus Juventus. That is a tasty, tasty clash. So, based off what I've seen so far, my prediction for the final, because they've been kept apart, I actually do believe that the final is most probably going to be Man City versus PSG. That's my prediction for the final. I could be wrong. Bayern Munich may have something to say about that. Real Madrid may potentially have something to say about that. Chelsea may have something to say about that. But my prediction for the final, I'm going to go with Man City versus PSG, and I'm picking PSG to win it. As I say, this tournament has been good. The teams that are being put out by the European teams mainly, the lineups have been stronger than expected. I have to admit, the lineups have been stronger than expected. This has been a very good tournament so far. And, the top scorers, we have, Angel Di Maria, we have Michael Elise, we have Jamal Musiala, and surprisingly, Kenan Yildiz are amongst the top scorers, and they're on 3 goals. Now, my favourite player of the tournament so far, I have to say, it's probably Kenan Yildiz of Juventus. He is a young, dynamic, tricky winger, but he looks like he can play centrally as well, like in a number 10 type of role. This guy he's looking special. He has kind of come out of nowhere. He's been linked to my club, Arsenal. So I've kind of taken a bit more of a keen interest in him, and he has looked really, really good. So far, he's been my favourite player of the tournament. Plays for Juventus. I don't think they're going to win it, so I'm not sure how much more involvement he's going to have in this tournament. But he has looked good. Other players that have looked good, Olise has looked good as well. Musiala has looked good as well. There's been a lot of players looking quite decent. Um, if I had to say like a surprise package, outside of Man City, PSG, a surprise package that maybe could make some more noise in the tournament, I'd probably say Fluminense. They are up against Inter Milan, so that is going to be a difficult fixture. But I would say Fluminense look like they could, have a bit of something about them. So they'd be my dark horse pick, Fluminense. But I'm going to stick with the Man City PSG final prediction and PSG coming out as the winners, the £100 million winners, might I add. So yeah, it's been a good tournament so far. Quietly impressed. I look forward to seeing what the rest of the tournament has in store. But so far so good. So my props to you guys, FIFA for this tournament. It's been better than expected. I'm looking forward to the knockout stages. And yeah, let's see what the rest of the tournament has in store for us. That's the end of the show today, guys. A nice, short, sharp, and quick one, as it's just me. So hopefully next show we'll have some more of the guests on with me. But for now, guys, thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your attention. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe. Share it if you want. Comment down below if you want. Other than that, guys, thank you for joining me. See ya.